The furry depravity begins! Really doesn't waste any time, it's right in your face. Sorry, my arms are both broken, as you can see. Here we go. I was looking through my library, trying to think of what game to play. I was like, what have I not played yet? I wanted to play something with touch controls so I could gesture. And I remembered that touch controls had been added to Lucky's Tale. Not that it needed them, it's a 3D platformer. But here we are. And it's a freaking adorable game. It's so much fun. It has a lot of neat little details in it. And it was just about the best introduction to VR that I can imagine. It's very much like Mario 64 of VR. Although the game itself plays a lot more like Banjo-Kazooie. It's not Banjo-Kazooie, excuse me, Crash Bandicoot. Oh, look at you. You're so cute, you little fucking shithead. You little piece of shit. Can't crush! Ugh. He doesn't talk much, which is a small mercy. Like, can you imagine if you have a shrill voice and said some shit every time you did anything? Like Toad in every Mario game. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. What's down here? There's all sorts of hidden shit. This game really rewards exploring. It's surprisingly tough in some places too. This was originally, I think, going to be a Gear VR game, which makes sense of the kind of plain graphics. But it fits, like aesthetically, it fits. It looks good. Am I mugging this guy? Is this a character, or is this how their economy works? You just beat up dolls to get gems. Are the gems money, or are the coins money? What's the exchange rate of gems to coins? Is he the only fox? Is he like the last of his kind, or what? Questions we might never know the answers to. Huh. This does not feel as good as playing with the gamepad. I don't really know why they added touch support. I'm not complaining. It kind of should have... I don't know how to put it. Every game on Oculus should recognize the touch controllers by now. But I'm against using them just for the sake of using them. Like when I first got them, I was like, everything must use touch controllers. Rah, rah. I chilled out pretty fast though. Some games really just don't need touch and don't benefit from it. Can I... If you could mess with stuff, that would make some sense of why touch controls are in here. Straight into the Earth's butthole. Shit has gotten real already. Who built this? Why is this here? Why are there dungeons? No, I'm not gonna just take for granted that this exists. I wanna know. You cute little fucker. Eat shit. Is there like some cult in Lucky's Tale that builds subterranean sex dungeons? No, Lucky, it's not sex if you force them, it's rape. You raped them, Lucky. Shame on you. This is already better than ukulele. I like ukulele, kind of. It's hard to say what's wrong with it. I just know something does not click. Everybody in the reviews for that game is trying to offer their own idea of why it doesn't feel as good as Banjo-Kazooie did. And I think the one answer I haven't seen from anybody is that that's an outdated gameplay model. That type of game is just fundamentally obsolete. Then again, look what I'm playing. It's actually more basic. So, am I just robbing everybody? It looks like it. Looks like I'm just jacking their money. What do I need this? Is this for meth? This is for meth, isn't it? Damn it, Lucky. We talked about this. I set up a job interview, and I told you, you can get high again, or you can get a job and start to turn your life around. And what did you do? What did you do? Just like every time. Look at the little frogs. Oh my god. They're just little blob creatures. That's the cutest. I love it. Frogs are the real star of this game. They're not trying to rob anybody. They're not trying to cause a stir or go on adventures. They're just being frogs, doing little frog shit. All day long. Hop, hop. Hippity hoppity, get off my property. And these owls, too. Fuck off, owls. Go to space. Go to space. Oh, I made it. It's okay if I just keep doing that all day. What do you think of that? What do you think of being smacked in the face by me? Feels great for me. Nothing? Okay. And the enemies, too. They have these happy, like, derpy looking faces. I can't even tell if they're sinister. Do they mean me harm? Am I, in fact, just a psychopath in this game? Am I just running around stealing everybody's money and killing them? Am I the white man? Am I, in fact, white colonialism metaphorically represented by a toddler con fox furry, or whatever the what's the one where they're wearing diapers? I've seen all this shit on Deviantart, but I forget the specific terms. There's all these terms they come up with for like their particular brain problem, whatever it is. Man, Deviantart was a mistake. The NSA should straight up just use that as a honeypot and just gas everybody who has ever drawn a picture of a cartoon animal inflating like a balloon. It has to be done for the good of the land. You might hate, but you know I'm right. Also, any picture of a like 4 or 5 year old cartoon animal in a diaper, anybody who builds themselves a costume so that they can pretend to be a baby animal in a diaper. I don't make the rules, well, I guess I made the rules 2 seconds ago, so that's a lie. But still. Into the trash you go. No time to waste. I think the most fucked up one I ever saw wasn't even sexual. It was just, it was a crossover between The Lion King and Alien. As in the Aliens films with fucking Sigourney Weaver. And they had Mufasa and Simba and Rafiki fucking trying to outrun xenomorphs. I didn't understand reality for like a good week after that. I was like, okay, I want it to stop now. I want off this ride. I guess I'm just getting old and I don't understand reality. Maybe the future is just going to be depraved cartoons all day, every day, and fucking virtual reality. But that's hell, isn't it? That's what hell would be like, is a VR of Deviantart shit that you can't escape from. And I say that as somebody who used to play Second Life in VR. So I've seen my share of meticulously modeled virtual dog dicks. Thank you very much. I'm something of an expert. Not that I want to be. I just want to go back to when I was innocent and before I saw any of this shit. Oh no, that's not the most fucked up one I saw. I think the most fucked up was the one where Spyro, the dragon, works at Subway, but he's just laying this huge, thick, long turd into the sandwich, and like behind him, the other characters are putting the slices of cheese on it. Because that picture tells a story. Whoever made that was not only retarded in the specific perverted way necessary to draw something like that, they also have to be somebody who worked at Subway to get all the details right. That's somebody who makes your sandwich. You ate a sandwich made by somebody who gets a boner thinking about Spyro the Dragon taking a shit into a sandwich and then preparing it to be eaten to the specification of the customer. Think about that. They touched your sandwich. For all I know, that fucking turns you on too. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only non-mutant left. Although, you know, I'm kind of okay with it. I'm kind of okay with, like, all this Tumblr shit about 80,000 genders. Because in comic books, what kind of people lived in the future? You had regular people, you had robots, you had cyborgs, and you had mutants, right? Well, they're the mutants that science fiction told us would exist by now, and they do. They're just like sex mutants. How are we going to explain that shit to aliens? Because remember, we sent the Voyager probe with a brass plaque that showed man and woman next to each other. How are we gonna fucking explain to aliens that there's 80,000 genders now? Although for all I know, they're fucking messed up in the same way, and they're thinking, wow, look at these oppressive shitlords with their binary genders. God, I hope not. I think that would be worse than xenomorphs, actually. I'd rather have the xenomorph. This is cool. It lets you take little diversions that way without worrying about getting lost. It takes you right back to the main path. It's extremely linear, but you don't miss anything. And you can explore without fear of any consequences for exploring. Which is very much in line with the colorful, happy, pro-exploration, pro-whimsical feel of the game. Lucky is just a little duder. He's just a little duder who loves to explore and dig and walk unquestioningly through subterranean dungeons without looking too carefully around or asking himself who built it and why. Best to just leave that stuff alone, really. Maybe there's like Joseph Fritzl foxes in this world who build those dungeons. And if I were to open one of those doors, I would find I don't wanna pursue this train of thought anymore, actually. I need to know when to stop sometimes. I need to know when to stop. The people who fucking draw that shit need to know when to stop their lives, when to stop breathing. Yeah, he's obnoxiously happy. Nobody's really that happy about their life, are they? Or maybe I'm just projecting. Totally not. 8 coins, 8 red coins from Mario. A lot of this shit is just jacked. Straight up from Mario with no attempt to hide that's what they're doing. I don't really care though. It's really well done. And the fact that it was in VR, and the first VR 3D platformer, kind of made it okay. According to several convincing reasons. Are you not persuaded? There are several of them. Another sex dungeon. What's behind here? Is there going to be like a bunch of fox babies and living in squalor? Look at the frogs. I'm just a terror. I'm the worst thing in this world. I'm the real monster. Like, they try to kill me, but they're feeble. They're incompetent. I'm the fucking seasoned killer here, apparently. He laughs and he smiles and looks all cute, but really, he's like the Doom guy of this universe, ripping and tearing his way through this cartoon world. I want a game from the perspective of the enemies that shows how they see Lucky. Probably they see him as like this beefy, roided up maniac. Like this guy. Oh, well, I actually managed to die on the first level. Ridicule me. Ridicule me, it pleases my nipples. Man, Second Life in VR, that was a golden age. Because remember, I'm not talking about the version that works with the DK2 either. I'm talking about VR before Oculus. The really rough shit, like 1990s or mid 2000s headsets that cost as much as Vive, but were markedly worse. Anyways, I used to explore just to see what people had created, and it was so cool just to see everything in stereo 3D, even though the field of view was pitifully small on those headsets. Only sometimes I would wander into like a castle wanting to see the rooms, and there would be 2 people fucking. Just straight up plowing his minotaur or anthropomorphic seal dick into an inflated Dragonair or Dragonite from Pokemon. And they'd be really polite about it. They'd be, you know, excuse me, could you please leave? Which I like to think would be how they would react in real life, too. But that really ruins the mood when you're trying to explore a fucking castle. I don't want to see fucking Pokemons and... Fuck off. I never liked you. What if that's what we find when we go to Mars? Like behind a rock there's just some Pokemon butt fucking. That would explain the ancient alien mysteries, I think. Once and for all. I don't know if you can see this, the frame rate's turned to shit. Hang on. Alright. Oh, there's a present. Awesome. Is it a cyanide capsule? Please say yes. No. Escape is not going to be that easy. There's going to be a Super Lucky's Tale. Only, oddly, it's not going to be a VR game. I'm not sure what the point is. Like, Lucky's only claim to fame Why is that a physics object? Is that it's a VR first 3D platformer. I guess they learned the hard way that there's no money in VR right now. So they're just not bothering. I hope it eventually makes its way to VR. I want to play the sequel in fucking virtual reality. I'm so fucking hard gay for VR, like titanium boner gay. I love anything in VR. Although I like to think, shit, I've gotten a little bit more discerning since the early days. Like in the early days, I would buy $5 experiences, I'm ashamed to say. I encouraged a lot of bad business practices. Fuck you, frog. The lag is really hurting me. I don't mean to be making excuses. Oh, it just suddenly improved. That's bizarre. Is this what you do all day? Just slowly walk backwards on a giant log and hop in perfect synchronicity with one another? Re-examine your lives. Think about the choices which led you here. Maybe, you know, go back to college. Think about oh, I killed them. Never mind. I think technically I solved all their problems, if you think about it from a certain perspective. Him as well. That was probably one of the relatives. Well, I mean, not necessarily just because he's a frog. That's like frog racist. They don't all know each other. What is the theme of this world? Platformer worlds all have themes, but this one's just kind of fairy tale, I want to say. If he had just cratered, like splat, and just a huge red blood splotch, gore would not fit well in this game. That would be so out of place if he just gibbed abruptly upon landing. Fuck you, mushrooms. Even the mushrooms will receive my wrath upon this day. How dare you! They're immortal. It's no use. You dropped it. Okay. And see, that's fun, these little challenges. It's constantly setting up little challenges for you to compete. And they're never too involved. You don't really have to keep track of anything. If I were retarded, I would love this. In fact, I am retarded, and I do love this. Hypothesis confirmed. Prove against that, atheists. Atheists are always getting checkmated on the internet. Have you noticed that? Like, for example, if climate change is real, how come there's still monkeys? Checkmate, atheists. Why do they keep playing chess if they keep getting checkmated? It's some kind of fairy tale thing, I think. Who put these logs here? Somebody had to cut down these trees. They're like, no, we don't need the government to come in and install safe bridges with handrails. We'll just have everybody jump on rotating logs. Whatever, it's a fucking fairy tale world. We don't have to be responsible. There's no such thing as a lawsuit here. Libertarian paradise. Yep, here's the fucking local warlords. It's libertarian paradise, alright. Lobbing unregulated explosives around that are legal to own. Been spending most of my life living in libertarian paradise. I haven't seen any of them go on a solid, contiguous 11-minute rant about Keynes and Mises, and gold-backed currency yet. So maybe they're not actually libertarians. Whatever, man. I prayed for the sweet release of death anyway. You're just giving me what I want. I'm gonna cut it short after this level, I think. Ow, fuck. Yeah, toss the bomb directly to me, dumbass. It's a winning strategy. You nailed it. You did it. Good job. Now you're fucking dead. And these cubes, somebody had to build these. Why would you build deliberately an unsafe elevator that rotates that people have to jump on top of to not fall off? Every answer just raises more questions. Shit! Maybe on some level, I subconsciously want to die. So I keep steering myself into the... I mean, ever since they canceled Caprica, there hasn't really been a point to continued existence. Where do they get the bombs? They don't know how to make bombs. They're fucking animals. There's got to be a bomb factory somewhere, and somebody's job is to go to that factory and manufacture bombs so that bats wearing crowns can throw them at a fox. What kind of fever dream am I living inside of here? And why would anybody work in this universe when you can just find coins in bushes and gems come out of random shit when you whack it? What if they're not intelligent? What if these are not the citizens of this world? It's just the wildlife. I'm going on like a safari where I murder every animal I see. Except for myself. I'm like the only animal with consciousness. Are you having a little party over there, are you? Too bad, you're all fucking dead. You know what you did. You were born. More frogs, man. This is a quandary. And the log traps. Somebody I know I'm a fucking broken record over here, but there's so much unexamined weird shit in platformer games. It's been talked about for Mario, like who makes the question blocks? And there's actually a canonical in-world explanation that there's a company in the Mushroom Kingdom that makes question mark blocks. So they've thought about that, and they've heard all the fans asking questions. I'll save the swamp for next time, for sure. I don't want to get into that right now. That's Lucky's Tale. It's extremely charming. It's got little hopping frogs and little animals that you can beat the shit out of, which is a selling point, I think. It is for me. Maybe they just made it for people like me, whatever that means. There's a story. You're trying to rescue your piggy from an eldritch horror. You'll find out more about that in subsequent episodes, however. Hit like and subscribe if you want to support me. You really shouldn't. I wouldn't do that. in your shoes. Although maybe this is reverse psychology. If you do like and subscribe anyway, that would really show me.